All right, yeah, I think I'm live here. I think I'm live. Um, Again, this was unplanned, but it's Saturday. It's pouring outside. Got everything done that I needed to, so I figured I'd come on here for a few and hang out and talk about some gear decisions for anybody that's interested in that. Just give me a second here so I can post some of this. All right, should be good. Don't know how long I'll be on here. Depends on if any of you show up. If anybody's doing the same thing on a rainy, well, here in Rhode Island, it's like I said, it's pouring out. So if anybody's hanging around and kind of working on the computer and bored, or even on your smart TVs, I'm here and had fun last time, so I figured I'd get on here again. So I'm going to give it a few and see if anybody else shows up. And if you do hop on here, whoever does hop on, please say hello in the chat so I know you're here. Looks like we got a couple of people hopping on here. Oh, we just lost them. All right, so I'm probably gonna have to repeat myself in case anybody else does hop on here. So what I'm thinking of doing, and it's difficult because a lot of stuff is either sold out or back ordered right now, as you can imagine. As you know, the Van Halen guitar that I'm trying to buy is back ordered till March. But I want to I play for amps. I play, I do have a Marshall back there, but I do play the Synergy stuff. And I originally started, the first thing I had was I think it was the 50-watt head first. And I had a couple of the modules, and it worked great. Now this was before I had my Helix, which was this is my third Helix now, right? I think it's my third one, and I still have it. But so I had the 50-watt head first, and I was running it with a regular pedal board that I was putting together, and I was able to switch all four channels on the Synergy using MIDI with I think it was using a Boss. I think it was the ES5. I don't know if it was the ES5 or the ES8. I don't remember. It was one of the two, but it's MIDI compatible or MIDI capable. So I was able to get the switching of the four channels. The 50-watt head has two module slots, so there's two channels on each. So I was able to switch the four channels with that no problem. And then I ended up getting the Helix and got rid of all the pedals just because it was too clunky for me. And plus, I wanted the Helix again because of the amp modeling, where I could use it if there was a gig that couldn't have an actual amp on stage. I could use that for my whole rig, and also use it with a real amp to control everything and have effects, and also be the backup. So when I got the Helix, um, obviously the Helix does have MIDI, but you know what I'm gonna do while I'm doing this? I want to post this in the Helix Facebook group. There's a bunch of great guys there. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. Maybe if I just search it, Helix. There it is, Helix user group. All right. That should be good now. I'm gonna leave it stop where I was, because if any of those guys from the Helix group hop on here, they can probably answer some questions that I have. So we'll just give it a few minutes. Hopefully everybody's doing well, staying safe, and not going anywhere. Which is funny because I had to run some errands today. I had to do some eBay stuff and ship some stuff, but I had to go to Home Depot and I had to go to a couple other stores, and everybody and their mother is still out. I don't see any difference from lockdown. Everybody needs to stay home as much as possible to nothing lockdown, regular life. Everybody was still in the stores. It's just so it is what it is, I guess. So let me see here if we can get somebody. All right, so I'm just gonna pick up. I'm not gonna wait too long because I don't, like I said, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here. So I had the Sin 50 head. 4 channels were switching great with the regular, traditional pedal board, and then I got the Helix, and that's when I started having issues. So I think I sent the head back before I got the Helix, and I ended up getting the Sin 2, which is the 2 module rack unit, because my band was going all in ears, and I wasn't really going to need a 50-watt head for the majority of our shows. So I sent the Sin 50, or whatever they call it, back, the 50-watt head back. I got the Sin 2, and it was switching fine with the other pedal board. And then I got rid of the other pedal board. Then I got the Helix. That's the timeline. All right, now I remember now. It was before all this pandemic nonsense. But so when I got the Helix, and like I said, Helix has MIDI, and that even the rack unit had MIDI too. I was having an issue where I could change. So there was the 4 channels that I had on there. I had 2 modules in there. I could change the channels via MIDI from the Helix on, like, I think I want to remember correctly, it was 2 of the channels or maybe 3, but the 4th channel would not change because, and now I went directly to Synergy and was emailing back and forth with Peter, who's like the big guy over at Synergy, trying to figure this out, and I was going back and forth with Line 6, their techs, on why this wasn't working. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was because the CC messages that are in the Helix, the numbers that needed to be used in the Synergy were being used in the Helix for something else. I'm trying to remember the numbers. It might have been like around 66, the CC of 66, and I don't have it up. It's been many months since I had that. I think it was since, like, I want to say March, April, right around there is when I had this set up. So we couldn't get it to work no matter what I did. They were like, well, maybe you have a defective unit. So I'm pretty sure I sent back the Sin 2 and was sent another one, and it was still the same problem. And that's when we figured out it was something to do with the CC numbers. So I ended up, because everything got shut down and there was no band rehearsals, no gigs, I ended up sending the Sin 2 back and just getting the Sin 1, which is on my desk here. It's a little tabletop version. It's only got the one space for 1 module. And I figured, I'm only going to be playing, in my studio, so I don't need to have 4 channels running. Sorry if this is long-winded, but I'm trying to remember this as I go, and trying to, in case somebody else does watch this that was having this issue or is about to experience this issue. So I got the Sin 1 because the Sin 1, I don't think the Sin 1 has MIDI. I can't see the back of it right now. I don't think it has MIDI, but it does have your regular 1/4-inch foot switch jack which the Helix can also do that. So the Helix is changing the channels on the SYN 1 in the module, no problem, using the regular foot switch jack. But now I'm thinking of going back to, at first I was going to go to the SYN 30 head, which is the 30 watt head that only has the one, so it only has the one space for a module. So and it has a dedicated clean channel. So you have the clean, and then you have your 2-channel module to give you 3 channels. I was going to do that, but then I was thinking, maybe I should just go for a couple $100 more. Maybe just go back to the 50 and keep the SYN 1 in case I have travel shows where if I need to get on a plane, if that ever happens again, I can throw the SYN 1 in my suitcase and carry my Helix pedal board on the plane with me. So now, then I started thinking, well, why did I get rid of it in the first place? And it was because I could not switch the channels the way I wanted to. And I've asked this question on the Line 6 Helix group and also the Synergy group on Facebook. And I got the same type of answers, that other guys are able to achieve this. And I'm not sure how they're doing it. Someone did. I can't remember your name, but I appreciate the link. He sent me a link for a guy that was controlling 2 different SYN 2s. So he had 4 modules going with 8 channels, and he was able to switch it all. I haven't watched it yet because I don't have the necessary equipment to actually try what he's doing, but I'll be able to check it out down the road. So I was going to get the SYN 50 head again, and everything's back ordered. Sweetwater, Musician's Friend, it's all back ordered. And Sweetwater said that they're going to be getting the heads in January, February, which is not a big deal. I can wait. But then I saw that they had a demo model available for I think it was like $150 less. So I tried to purchase that, and I guess I just missed it because it sold. So now I'm back on here. I'm hoping some people come on. This is a live stream. I'm hoping somebody comes on that might help me decide which way to go with this. That is familiar with this setup, using the Synergy and using the Helix. Is at least we've got a couple people on here. I just don't know who it is. I'm just trying to see if it's anybody on Facebook. Let me see if I have any messages there. Oh, it's Chad. Oh, perfect guy. How's it going, Chad? So I don't know if you heard. I just went through a whole spiel of what I'm thinking of doing with my rig. As you know, I have the Helix still. It's actually down on the floor underneath my desk here. I'm playing the Synergy amp stuff because I love it. And you may have seen me post a question on the group there yesterday or a couple of days ago. So when I'm going to go through this again quickly. So when I first had the SYN 50 head, which has the two module slots. I have 4 channels, but I didn't have the Helix yet. Again, I was using a regular pedal board with the Boss ES5 or ES8, which has MIDI. I was able to change all the channels on the 4 channels on the SYN. But then my band went all in-ears, so I sent the SYN 50 head back and got the SYN 2, which is the 1 space but 2 module rack unit. Basically the head, but without the power amp. And then I got the Helix again for the 3rd time. But I was having an issue switching all the channels on the SYN, the 2 on each module, because, and I already said this, I was going through emails with Peter at Synergy and a couple of the Line 6 guys trying to figure out why this wasn't working. And I was told by the end of it, we figured out, first we thought we had a defective Synergy unit, so I got another one, same issue. Then I think we figured out that the CC messages that the Helix uses weren't I don't want to say they were interfering with the Synergy. So the Synergy, in order to change their channels, you have to use certain numbers, CC 66 or whatever, 67, 68, 69. But the Helix uses those numbers for like some kind of effects. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were. This was back in March and April. So whenever I tried to use those CC numbers or messages on the Helix, it wouldn't change the channel. It would change, one of the effects or whatever it was meant for. And that's what we ended up figuring out with Line 6. And they said, yeah, that's what those numbers are used for. And so I ended up sending the Syn 2 in, and I got the Syn 1, which is the desktop Synergy kind of tabletop thing. It doesn't have MIDI. It has quarter-inch jacks to channel switch, which, the Helix has that. Works like a charm. I'm able to change the 2 channels on there. But now I'm thinking about, I want to go back to, at first I was going to do the Syn 30 head, which just has one slot for the module, so you get 2 channels there, but it has a dedicated clean to give you 3 channels. Am I going to get the same problems channel switching? And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just do the Syn 50 head, because they had a demo one on Sweetwater, but I was too late getting it. But so I'm trying to think, do I want to go through this whole process again? But there are guys in both the Helix group and the Synergy group that say they're using this exact setup and they're able to do it. I have a video to watch. I watched a little of it, of a guy that's controlling 2 different Syn 2s, which means 8 channels with the Helix. And I need to watch it because I don't know how, using those CC numbers, how he was doing it, because I kept running into that issue where the Helix had those numbers dedicated to certain things. Unless they went on, these firmwares that they keep pumping out, which is great, unless they figured out how to do that. Yeah, Chad, I know you don't use Synergy, but I was hoping maybe with the CC messages, I don't remember what the numbers were. I want to say they were in the 60s. And if you look in the Helix manual, it shows you all the CC numbers, like 1 through 10 is this. And so I'm really debating. I really don't know what I want to do. The stuff is back ordered till at least January, February, no matter where you try to buy it now. So I guess I have time to figure this out, but I kind of want to get the order in, so I'm not way back and I get pushed into March, April. Not like I can go use them anyway, but it'd be cool to just plug in here and rip, loud for the time being. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm looking for not really advice, but to steer me towards, do I get the Syn 30 head, which just has the 1 module slot, which is all I have right now is 1 module. I sold the other one that I had, but I was going to, if I got the Syn 50 head, now keep in mind it's $300 more. Obviously, it's 20 more watts, but you know how watts work. And it doesn't have the dedicated clean channel, but you don't need that because you'll have 4 channels. And I was going to get the Hey, Bobby. I was going to try the Fryette Deliverance module. So I was liking the way that sounded through the videos I was seeing. But if I get the Syn 30, then I don't really need to get that. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on what to do here as far as which way to go. Either way, I got to wait for the products to become available. And who knows, like they say in January, February, who knows with the way everything's going right now, who knows how long it's going to actually take, depending on how fast they can manufacture these things. So I don't know if anybody out there has an idea. I just wish I knew why some guys are getting it to work, but I can't. I couldn't get it to work when I had it. And like I said, I think originally I was going to buy it buy the Sin 50 head or the Sin 30 head, buy it first, and then sell the tabletop version, the Sin 1. But now I'm thinking I might just keep the tabletop just because if we ever do get back to regular life and we're able to travel, and I have to hop on a plane, I can at least put that little tabletop thing into like a carry-on bag or my suitcase and check it, and then carry on my Helix. So I don't know. Oh, Chad, I have a question for you, Chad. Ask Jared. Yeah, Jared was one of when I was going back and forth with Synergy and Line 6. I also was on the phone with Jared a few times, and he couldn't figure out. He said, "You just do this, this, this," and every time I did it, it didn't work. So I don't know what was going on. And like I said, I sent one unit back to get another one, and it still didn't work. Couldn't be two faulty units. But also, like I said, is that Line 6 told me it was the CC numbers was causing the issue. All right, so Chad, I do have a question. So remember I bought your full Helix shield thing? Before I bought the strips, I actually have them on my desk here. I'll probably sell them to somebody that just wants those. But I bought the full one. You shipped it out to me like a while ago, and thank you for that. And just like last week was the first time I actually got to open the package and put it. So I put it on the board, and then there was this little plastic bag in there with these like rubber. It almost looked like rubber feet. Is this what I wanted to ask you? Was this Plexi Shield meant to just sit on there and you can take it off and when you play just put it back on for a show, or is it supposed to be kind of like on there like your other? Let's see if I can get that. It's hard to do stuff with the one hand, but when you put these on, you had the little double-sided, not really tape, but it was like rubber stuff, and you put them on, and it stayed on really well. That same material was not sent with the full shield. Now, is that... I wish I could grab... Hold on. So these little things here... It goes on the Helix under the magnets. So is this what you're talking about? These are the magnets? I haven't even, like I said, I just opened the whole thing last week. It had been sitting in my studio since you sent it out. So these go, and I didn't see any video as far as on how to install that. I saw it for the strips. So there's what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 in here. So I'm thinking that you take the paper off and you stick that to the bottom of the Plexi, and then the other side is the dark side is a magnet, right? If I'm getting that right. And that'll just cling to it. Oh, those are the rubberized steel dots. So what magnets... That goes on the Helix under the magnets. I'm totally confused here. I'm going to open this so I can see exactly what these things are. I apologize for not opening them before. They stick to the Helix. All right, I got that. These things stick to the Helix. So what sticks to the plexiglass? Look at the shield. I'm going to take the shield off. There are magnets on the shield. Ah, okay. All right. So these the tiny little holes. Yeah, I see the magnets. Like I said, I didn't really inspect this. I just took it out of the package and I put it on there. All right, so those are magnets, but are they double-sided magnets or just one side? Because when I put it down, when I put this down onto the helix, it doesn't feel like it's magnetic. Let me try it again. Maybe I'm just. Yeah, it doesn't stay. It doesn't. I don't know how much pressure it's supposed to hold on there, but it. Because I can lift it off like nothing. Like it's not holding. It's not staying down onto the helix. I know we're 15 seconds off in time here, but I mean, this is the only way it could go down because I can't. You can't really turn it over. Let me just put a corner. I think I know what you're talking about now. Hold on. There we go. So you're saying to put these little square things down onto the helix first, or even take the backing off, maybe just put it on here, and then stick that onto the helix, and then that's what. All right, I got it. I'm stupid sometimes, but I understand now. Makes sense. I'm gonna put these back in here because I'm not really doing any moving of this pedal board. I'm just gonna tape it right to the side here so I don't lose it. I got it. Thank you. That was bugging me. I wasn't sure if that was just adhesive or what. And it just, those corner things, they just look like, again, I didn't really look at it. They just look like holes in there. Just like, I don't know if it was for to air to pass through or something. But yeah, it makes total sense now that I see it. All right, so back to Bobby had said that shipping is really slow. Bobby, you're speaking to the choir here. I just got off with eBay support because there are tons of horror stories going on. I sold a golf club, a driver, to a guy in Missouri. He bought it the day before. He bought it the day before Thanksgiving. I shipped it out the day after Thanksgiving. He just got it 3 days ago. It was not tracking, moving anything for a long time. Then it moved to Connecticut from Rhode Island, sat there for a few days. Then it moved and went to Kansas, sat there for like 3 days. So he was really cool about it. He's going back and forth with me, and I guess he finally received it. And the packet, it was sent through USPS. The package was totally, he said it was mangled. There was big dents in it in the package, so he hadn't opened it yet. He took a bunch of pictures of it, and I just got a message yesterday that he took it out of the box that I had. He goes, it looked like I packed it really well, which I take my time with all packing everything. And he said the club was in at least two pieces. I'm like, how the hell do you break a golf club in two pieces? So he's like, I'm going to take pictures, and me being the seller, I have to file a claim. I'm like, whatever, I'll make it right for you, this and that. But he sends me a message this morning saying that he talked to his postman, and they told him to just file the claim. So he's doing it. He's taking care of it. It's out of my hands. All good. He was really cool about it. It just sucks that he can't use the club. But I'm seeing all kinds of eBay sellers saying that packages are just being lost. I'm seeing pictures online of outside post offices, not anywhere here I haven't seen yet, is that there's pallets upon pallets of just packages sitting on pallets, just full, like taller than me. I'm 6'2", and they're not even scanned. They're just leaving there. They're so behind right now. Actually, I can put these up. Chad, shipping sucks due to COVID, the election, COVID. Yep. It's exactly what's going on. They're understaffed, they're short-staffed, and not only because of COVID, nobody's allowed to go anywhere, so you can't go visit your family and give them their presents face to face, everything's gonna get mailed now. So add that on top of the normal crazy mailings of this time of the year. So I have to, I have to, I'm gonna have to shut my eBay store down. I'm thinking I'm gonna do it the week of Christmas because I'm having the wrist surgery on the 29th. So I think I'm just gonna shut it down the week before. This way, nobody tries to order anything and get and hope that it arrives before Christmas, like in a few days. It's just even priority. Like people are paying for 2-day priority, and they're paying whatever it is, at least $8 and up, depending on the size and the weight. And the stuff is not getting there in 2 to 3 days. It's getting in there in 2 to 3 weeks. So the person that is paying for the shipping is kind of getting screwed too. And there's nothing. And I noticed that USPS is sending letters out to some eBay sellers saying, we're sorry about this, but there's nothing we can do about it. We don't know if your package is going to even get there, but if it does, it's going to get there very late. So I was debating on just shutting down until after the holidays, but I can't. But yeah, Bobby, that's a good point. UPS has to ship COVID vaccines. They don't need to ship one to me. I'm not taking that damn thing until I see what happens, because that was a little quick for me to get a vaccine so fast like that. And also, I think I've said this before on one of these streams that I do. I've gotten the flu vaccine or the flu shot 3 times in my life, or 3 or 4 times, and I've gotten unbelievably sick every single time from the shot. So every year I get one like really, really bad sickness, and I had it back in August when I had my other surgery that had to get postponed a week because I was like deathly sick. All right, Chad, take care. Thanks for the knowledge as always. If I don't see you, happy holidays. Yeah, so I'm hoping that's my one sickness. I have this surgery coming up on the 29th, and I have to go get a COVID test on the 23rd because you have to. And I'm just trying to avoid, I haven't gone out buying eBay stuff, from my store in a week and a half, or even almost 2 weeks now, because I'm just trying to avoid going out as much as I can. I'm still going out because I have to, but I'm trying to avoid, going out, especially I'm not seeing any less people out shopping or anything. So back to the original reason why I came on today. What do? Do I get the Sin 50 head? Do I get the Sin 30 head? Here's my pros and cons of both. Well, number one, I got to hope that they both work with the Helix the way I need it to. Number two, the Sin 30 Pro is that it has a dedicated clean channel built into it. That actually sounds really good. And then it takes one module, which is kind of, I don't know if it's a pro or a con, but the problem, I have the BBBE module from Friedman. So if I had the dedicated clean channel on the Sin 30, the BB is more like a clean. So I'd almost have 2 clean channels, and then just like the AC/DC style crunch on the BE. But then I don't have anything above that unless I use the Helix amp models or really push the BE with some kind of overdrive. So with the Sin 50 head, the con is no dedicated clean channel, which is fine because you can put 2 modules in it. So I could use the module I have and use the BB for my cleans, the BE for my light gain, and then I'd have to buy another module. Like I said, I was looking at the Fryette Deliverance for the heavier stuff. Now the cons to that is the head is like $300 more than the other head, and then you have to buy another module, which is another $400. But I'd have like all my tones covered that way. I mean, I could with the Sin 30 head, and the Sin 30 is not going to be as loud, which is not a big issue because we're mostly in-ears anyway. But I'd have to get that other ground covered, I'd have to use the amps in the Helix to do that. And if I'm using the head it probably going to mean I'm using a real cabinet, and I don't like the way the Helix sounds through a regular speaker. So I don't know. I really don't know how I want to go about this. So I'm taking all input on this. You guys, maybe there's something that I forgot, or there's some kind of pro or con that I'm not thinking of right now. Just let me know if you can in comments, or email me, or Facebook, or whatever. I'm at 36 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up soon unless I get more people hopping on. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Um, yeah, so other than that, and it sucks too because I thought I had my mind made up. Sweetwater had a demo on the Sin 50 head. I tried to order it, but somebody beat me to it. So now it's just like, gotta wait. I should look again to see if they have another. I'm looking again. They're always adding and taking stuff off of Sweetwater. I'm looking on my phone right now. Synergy. So they have. Then there's always the option of the rack mount, the Sin 2. Oh, that way, no, that's the 2 amp. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, Bobby, I'm on 3.01, and I have not even I can't really try anything. So I haven't even gone through the update. I did update it though, and I know they said you need to update the 3.01 because 3.0 has some kind of a bug in it where it could cause a pretty bad corruption with audio in your system. So they're stressing to update as quickly as possible before you use it even more. So the Sin 2 rack mount, do I really want to? I don't know. That's on back order too. All this stuff is on back order. I kind of don't want to get the rack mount just because I have the tabletop version and it's almost like a rack mount piece anyway. Sin 50 head, Sin 30 head. I don't know. I like the option of having 4 channels. You know, going from the cleanest of cleans all the way up to the heaviest of heavies with over those 4 channels. But to save money, I'd be saving, $700-800 just doing the Sin 30. Excuse me. I feel like my allergies are kicking my butt today. I don't need any of the cabinets, speaker cabinets. The Marshalls sound fine. Right now, I think I'm leaning towards the Sin 30 as of right now. And plus, they have 36 months no interest going on Sweetwater, which I think Musician's Friend has 48-month going, I think. But the problem with them is I'm also waiting on the Van Halen guitar with them, and I don't want to put too much on that card. And plus, Guitar Center filed for bankruptcy, so who knows what's going to happen. Fryette Deliverance. That's back order too. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. And thank you, Bobby, as always. Chad, as always. I don't know who else was here, but thank you for just hopping on for a few. And I'm sure I'll be doing this again. I'm using that Ecamm Live, and my trial runs out in 3 days, so I might get another 1 or 2 streams in before this runs out. I don't know what's going on with OBS. It's not working under the new Mac firmware or software, which stinks because it's free. I wonder if I need to check out Streamlabs OBS again. I wonder if their version of OBS is working. That's a good question. So maybe I'll mess around with that. And if I can get that working, I'll come back on. But everybody take care, and like I said, I'm gonna shut this down. Have a good rest of your Saturday and weekend, and maybe I'll be on sooner than you think. See ya.